porn has become, for as weird as it sounds, like less romantic in a way, because my last episode I did with Christy Canyon, and when she was telling me about the stuff she used to do, the type of movie, because they would make movies, like actual movies. It wasn't just scenes.
I want to do that so badly.
Yeah, like it wasn't. I mean, now it's all about like gonzo individual scenes, and sometimes they'll be acting. And I know there's some websites that focus a little more on erotica and stuff like that, where there is more romance and everything like that, but like the gonzo stuff, say with like Bang Bros and stuff like that, it was just like, with Bang Bus, it was, oh, hey, let's just pick up a woman and we're just going to have a dude come in and they're going to have sex and they're total strangers.
Now, I do think that some of that kind of stuff is hot too. And I don't want to act like I don't. Yeah. But I think it's nice. I think it's nice to have the type of content that couples can watch together. Too. Because I've been in relationships where that enhanced the sex life. Yeah. And I think it's nice to do that. I think sometimes that can help people to communicate who may be too shy to say what they want, or people who just feel uncomfortable talking about sex with their partners. Yeah. So I think sometimes, watching something like that and seeing things being done, it can kind of open up the dialogue, and that's a good thing. And do you think that maybe it can, because unfortunately it seems like a lot of young men especially take their, as we said earlier, they kind of take their sexual cues from watching porn, thinking that, well, this is what I like watching, so this is what I want to try to do. Right. Whereas, so if they're consuming more, harder fetish based stuff, they might transfer that into their real life without realizing that, hey, your partner might not be into this. Right. Whereas if you show them stuff that's more romantic, that's more about like being loving towards your partner and making them feel good, and again, like kissing on the neck and kissing on, because again, that might not be super a super big turn on to watch. But like, for instance, in my experience, I mean, women love being kissed on the neck. Right, exactly. Like that's something that really can. Men do too. I'm just saying, it depends. Yeah, I'm just saying. But that feeling of the kissing and everything like that just can, like, again, it really gets you going, which really kind of shows you how different, say, porn sex is from real life sex. And nipple play outside of like a breast fetish type video to both men and women, like that kind of stuff, like more erogenous zones than the obvious stuff. Like, it's nice to see those kinds of things. And like talking again about, you mentioned movies, I would love to write, direct, perform in like a horror porn film, like a full movie with the scenes all mixed in. That's like something I would really like to do. I just think it would be a blast. Well, and it's weird because I think that porn features are definitely a lot less prevalent now. It seems like the only time you see features are, I guess maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're still out there, but for a long time, the parodies of, parodying like superhero films and other popular films were kind of the big features. But parodies were huge for a while there. Yeah, for a long time, like not Spider-Man XXX or not whatever. Or like the Brady Bunch thing. I remember that. Yeah, from like or the Pirates movies from the mid 2000s. Yeah. So, but that's cool. I mean, so that's something that you would want to try to get like more behind the camera, or just because it's an idea you really want to do? I actually want to do more mainstream acting type stuff. It's like on a bucket list. I would love to just do some mainstream acting at some point too. And I feel like that could be like working. Yeah. Really? It's a pipe dream probably, because there aren't a lot of bigger ladies in those kind of, unfortunately, there's not a lot of great roles for plus size women. Yeah. Especially plus size middle-aged women. I mean, I could play somebody's mom, or you know what I would like to do? I would like to be like the nosy neighbor lady, like the Gladys Kravis or Mrs. Achmonic, if anybody's old enough to remember those characters. So I'm curious then. So like, what kind of what would be your dream role then, if you've thought about it from an acting perspective? Dream role? I don't know. That's a tough one.
I had an opportunity to do a film, and unfortunately I had to pass on it because I had some complications from the surgery I had, and it would have involved that was going to be filmed in the UK. Mm-hmm. Eric Roberts was going to be the
really?
And I was like, damn it, The Dark Knight is one of my favorite films of all time. Yeah. And unfortunately I wasn't going to be able to do it, and I was going to. I don't want to give it away because
sure.
But it would have been a challenging role. But I just I would love to do something like that.
Well, I mean, and hopefully that'll happen. I mean, don't give up on it.
Yeah.
It's just, again, I think, because I'd like to think that at some point there might be more crossover with adult performers into mainstream. I know there has been over the years, little bits here and there. But
unfortunately for me, I don't live anywhere near these productions, so that's another barrier to me.
Yeah.
But maybe someday.
You never know though, because I mean, they've, film and TV production have really become like outsourced on location stuff. Like, for instance, didn't they shoot all the Walking Dead like in West Virginia?
I'm not sure.
I think they did.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. And so, very little is actually produced in Hollywood anymore, and New York. One, I think, is because it's too expensive, but also I just, the stuff that they're doing is I think that they're trying to add more realism, or they're just trying to find places that are cheaper. Like, that's why Atlanta became such a big shooting area, because Atlanta offered a lot of tax incentives for film and TV productions.
Makes sense.
Like, that's why Tyler Perry's whole company, I think, is based out. Well, I mean, I think he's from there, but still. So, that's cool though. I mean, I'd say there are examples. So I feel like don't think that it's not possible.